In this video, I'm going to reveal an extremely powerful hack, how you can pay down your mortgage way faster, especially if you feel burdened by your mortgage debt. So keep watching. Let's go. Hi, I'm Ella Gurfinkel, Senior Loan Officer with Team Ella, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and welcome to my channel. This is a place where we talk about your financial strategies, about little-known mortgage secrets, or very well-known mortgage secrets for that matter. So subscribe, comment, and ask questions so I can bring more information to you on the next videos. And by the way, I have included a little bonus at the end. So keep watching, do not stop, stay with me till the very end to see a little bonus information that I saved the best for last. In the meantime, let's go and let's look at all the ways you can actually hack through the mortgage burden and make it easier on yourself and become mortgage free. So the first one is rather well known. It is called the bi-weekly mortgage payments. What does it mean? You're making a payment, half a payment, every 2 weeks. That means that you make 26 half payments. That's 13 total mortgage payments, 13 full mortgage payments for the year. Therefore, you're paying one extra mortgage payment for every year, and you're reducing at least 7 years off of the repayment term of your loan. So by putting this one in play, you have effectively cut off 7 years out of 30, bringing your loan repayment term down to 23. While the bi-weekly payment is actually something that a lot of people know about, the reason it is so powerful and the reason that it actually saves off that many years, as in 7, off of your repayment term, is because you're saving a metric crap ton on the interest of the loan. On the bi-weekly, that extra payment a year that you are generating by going bi-weekly actually goes fully towards principal. So you're talking about, on an average loan size of about $450,000, you're saving upwards of $130,000 in interest alone by doing the bi-weekly, applying one extra payment a year. And that's really where the impact is. So do not discount the fact that it's well known. It's the impact that is less so known, and that's where it gets so powerful for you, the consumer. The next thing you can do is actually where it gets even more interesting. You can take your bi-weekly strategy, where you're already paying down the principal and thus reducing the interest, and now you can actually layer a more aggressive pay down on top of it. Just because you're doing the bi-weekly doesn't mean that you have to stop there. You can actually pay extra towards the principal on top of the bi-weekly, and that will shave off even more time in terms of the length of repayment, but it will also shave off more principal, and by extension, it will shave off a lot more interest. The more aggressively you're paying down the principal, the less interest you're paying, and that's what actually shortens the repayment time frame for your loan. And that was actually item number 3. If you're liking what I have to say so far, please keep on watching, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget, at the end of this video, there's a little bit of a bonus for you, a strategy that is not as well known, but it will also save you thousands of dollars in repaying your mortgage. Now, here is something to consider, and this is number 4 on my list. Before you actually start aggressively paying down your loan, or not so aggressively, either way, before you start paying down your loan, check for prepayment penalties. First of all, pretty much the majority of the loans done since 2010 do not have prepayment penalties on them. What is a prepayment penalty? Prepayment penalty is something the lender can impose on you, a penalty, a charge, for paying off the loan too quickly. Usually the prepayment penalties in the days of old, before the crash, before 07, 08, they were a lot more common, and typically they would hit you with a prepayment penalty if you paid off or paid down your loan in the first 2 to 5 years after you obtained the loan. Now, like I said, nowadays prepayment penalties, while not quite the thing of the past, I would say probably less than 5% of all loans, if not even less, have prepayment penalties on them. Nonetheless, check just in case. Typically, the prepayment penalties would only be on the quote-unquote non-QM or quote-unquote non-traditional loan. Your garden variety, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA loans do not have prepayment penalties on them out of the gate. That is a guarantee. Like I said, if you have any other loan types, those may carry prepayment penalties on them. So always check, because if you start paying off your loan aggressively, and get hit with a penalty, that is entirely counterproductive to the goal you're trying to achieve. Budget for your extra payment. So many people get into home buying actually taking a deep dive head first without a lot of thought of how their budget is going to be affected, or people try to buy a home without a budget. Budget first, whether you're buying a home, budget if you're already in a home, so you don't get into financial dire straits, but also if you want to pay off your home early. And this is where budgeting is even more important, because you can see where you have the money to spare in your income, in your money coming in every month, to put towards the principal, and therefore, again, be as aggressive as you can be in terms of paying your loan down. So budget, look at your expenses, look at your income, see what you can cut off, see what you can come out, how much money you can actually spare. But no less important, when you're paying down your mortgage, do not forget about still investing in your future and still setting money aside for your retirement. The younger you start, the better off you will be down the pike. But that, my friends, is actually a topic for a whole other conversation. In the meantime, budget is your friend. Refinancing. Refinancing is a great option to actually pay off your loan faster. You will probably want to jump through the screen of your phone, your device, computer, what have you, and probably grab me by my throat and shake me silly, because who talks about refinances when the interest rates are way upwards of 6%, and we just came out of 2 and 3% rate environment just a couple of years ago? Let me tell you, it's not always about the rate. And that actually piggybacks on the prior point I was making, and that was the point about the budget. Because one thing I see day in and day out, working with my past and current clients, yes, your mortgage may be at 2.5%, 3.5%, even 4%, 5%, or 6%, and the rates are higher now. But if you have a lot of debts, and that's again where budget comes into play, you can still refinance even with a higher rate, lump all of your debts together into the new refi, or not all, but a lot, or a few, still actually improve your monthly financial position. It all boils down to numbers. I always take the emotion out of the numbers. Numbers have no emotions. Numbers speak for themselves. So if you're sinking under the burden of monthly debts, but yet you want to pay your mortgage down as fast as you can, let's talk about those monthly debts before we even talk about the mortgage. So refinancing is an option where you can actually refinance all of your debts into your loan, reduce your total monthly outgo, and now apply the savings realized from the refinance back into the loan to pay it off aggressively month in, month out. So now not only do you not have the monthly debt, you also are accelerating the repayment of your loan and can get rid of the mortgage payments a lot faster than you imagine. Now, once the interest rates do drop, that's when the refis, of course, become even more attractive, because if you're going from 7 to 6, that's a few $100 savings a month. Now, one thing that I suggest you do if you're going to wait and if you're going to wait to refinance into a lower rate, whatever the monthly savings are, do not pocket the savings if you want to get rid of the mortgage. Apply them back into the new mortgage payment. You will accelerate the repayment that way too, and you will whittle the loan down a lot faster. Again, there are other ways you can also use your money wisely, but if you're hell-bent on paying down your mortgage, that is one of the ways to get you down to your goal. What about restarting the term over, meaning you've had a loan for a year or two and now you're going back to the 30-year term? Fear not, because with the accelerated repay, you're not actually losing a year. You may be gaining a number of years. Each scenario, each savings realized are different. So that's where you need to talk to a professional about what your specific situation is. Now, enough about the refis. I've talked about it long enough. Moving on. This one is widely available. As I always say, Google is your friend, but a lot of people neglect to actually use it. And this little bugger will actually help you achieve your goals faster. And it's the mortgage repayment calculators that are available online. Like I said, Google is your friend. Google one and look for the simplest version of either a mortgage accelerator or how do I pay down my mortgage faster calculators. There you can see where even $30 a month can make a huge difference, because that money goes straight towards principal and you're starting to save on interest. And it's a compound effect that comes into play that makes it that much more important. So the free mortgage payoff calculators that you can find, again, Google is your friend, is something that I do highly recommend, because you can see not just the impact of the extra payments, but you can also see the impact of the biweekly calculators, because it will account for that as well. And now, here is what I would consider a bonus. And this is something that I just don't want people to stumble into and make this mistake. It's as simple as not falling for the paid mortgage accelerator programs. Whether it's a paid bi-weekly, whether it's a paid quote-unquote accelerator, or a rose under any other name, it's still a rose. Doesn't matter what they call them. If somebody wants you to pay for their program to reduce your mortgage and to pay it off faster, not just walk away, run. Seriously, because you can achieve the same results absolutely free of charge, on your own, and on your own terms, without your feet to the fire and without spending your hard-earned cash on something that can be easily done by yourself. I always try to make my videos as informative and as helpful as possible for you, my viewers. So if you know somebody who could benefit by watching this video, who is interested in reducing their mortgage payments, do me a favor, please share. I'll forever be grateful, and your friends will get the benefit of great information that is actually useful. Or feel free to leave a comment below with your own questions, or share your success about how you put any of those strategies in play and actually started getting on the road to being mortgage free. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.